I have killed 14 chickens today before this demo.
You gotta kill a lot of chickens too to not get a blue.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
You gotta kill a lot of chickens. What?
They hit the button. Talking about killing chickens.
Yeah, you gotta kill a lot of chickens to prevent blue screen effect. That's all.
Sure.
Yes.
And should I be killing chickens? Because I track blue screens like daily.
You gotta kill at least a couple more. You're not killing enough.
Were we not supposed to kill chickens?
You can 3D print that, right? Another chicken to kill.
Yes, you 3D print chickens and then murder them. Murder the 3D prints of chicken.
3D printing an egg.
Wow, there's so many things that we can talk about today. All right, welcome to the pre-show banter. If you're joining us early, we show up early because you show up early. You show up early because we show up early. It's a vicious cycle. Mainly just because we're all nervous. There's thousands of people showing up today. And Ralph, you didn't know this until just now, but you are actually doing the webcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because I actually hit up Beau yesterday about some Azure cloud stuff. And so now that I have, suddenly become the expert and I'm ready to present all of that information, this is super exciting. I'm glad that we made this happen.
Yeah, no, I did. I made sure to include plenty of memes for you to go through. It's gonna go great.
Yeah.
Slide roulette.
You get to do the slides, but you get to watch Beau judging you the whole time.
Oh. Ooh, I wouldn't have said that. Nope, that's actually totally inaccurate. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
Bart Flynn says, is this previously recorded or live?
Stay tuned to find out today.
We need like a newspaper so we can show current date, like they do on Reddit, like they have like the newspaper and they put like the name, username stuff to prove.
Dude,
yeah,
I got it. Check it out. That little board back there, it's got the current cryptocurrency prices. That way you know.
There you go.
That's how you know.
It's like time dating. Yeah, you're just looking like, what is this coin and why does it matter? And who cares how much it is?
At some point, it will be that price again.
Ralph, are those real-time prices?
Yeah, it's real time. There's another one of those silly projects where you find a Raspberry Pi that you bought for something else and you finally put it to use.
Yep, I got one too.
So speaking of Bitcoin, what is the most secure Bitcoin cryptocurrency thing that exists?
That's a really open-ended question.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. What is the most secure operating system?
So I would say let's bring that down to maybe like how to secure your cryptocurrency, maybe. Like what would be the most secure way to store cryptocurrency? And for most users, it tends to be like on the hardware wallet side, where you're actually taking custody of the coins that you purchase and not just leaving them on an exchange, because that's one of the biggest things that happens to a lot of people when they buy cryptocurrency. Leave it on an exchange gets hacked, and there's like no way for anybody to reimburse that.
Most of the stuff that we read or hear about as far as like insecurities and cryptocurrencies is mostly just with wallets and other private keys getting leaked out.
Ralph and I actually used to have a podcast that we did called CoinSec Podcast.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. with Mike Felch and Steve Borosh. It was good. It was a good podcast. We should resurrect it.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring it back. It's all based on the price, though, right? Like the more the price
only
goes
when it's going up. That's the only reason to do it, right?
The new wave of people going, what is cryptocurrency? Hey, I heard that you know what Bitcoin is. That's when you know it's going to crash. When I start hearing questions about cryptocurrency randomly from like people much older than me.
Yep, that's a good indicator.
So there was this old adage that if you asked your server, so you're at a restaurant and you asked them what they were going to school for. If they said real estate, then you bought stock. If they said stock or finance, you then bought real estate, because the people who worked in the food service industry was always a trailing indicator of what was successful. So it would, by the time they got to the point where they could actually practice it, that would be passed, and then you would do the opposite. I don't know if that's true.
Did you do this?
But every once in a while, I would ask my server, like, so what are you, studying in school? And they're like, oh, real estate. Like, all right, it's time to.
Did anyone say anything besides real estate?
No, it was Florida, 2005, 2006 at the time.
Yeah, it's just mainly real estate. Either that or, real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah, they were talking about flipping houses. You're like, oh, time to buy stock. Also, if I ever talk to you about real estate or stock, just do the opposite because it's on its way down.
So you're using the restaurant, the servers and restaurants as kind of the canary in the coal mine to time to get out.
Yep, it's because generally they would go into that type of industry because they see how successful it is, and so they start looking at getting school for that. Ooh, timeshares. From being from Florida, if you've never been to a timeshare meeting, it is the greatest sales experience you'll ever have in your entire life. You'll get to see an aggressive sales tactic. You'll get to see the best friend sales tactic. You'll get to see the good cop, bad cop sales tactic. You'll get to wait in the waiting room to get your free vouchers to go to a theme park. Like every single thing that can happen through the sales process, like you're living Glengarry Glen Ross at that moment. Like it is just the person who took me on my tour to see got fired because he couldn't close me fast enough. So his supervisor came in and told him to clear out his stuff. And like the guy's in the background, like putting his things into a box and walking past the glass.
Wow.
Like, and I'm like, what just happened?
While you were still there?
Wow, I was still there. And then
mid spiel.
Oh, and then the guy that fired him then came down and gave me like the super aggressive sales tactic of like, so you're going to be able to be a man and provide this for your wife or not. And I was like, what? And so there was like a part of me was like, I'll be a man and sign this paperwork. And so later on, the guy that was his boss came and said, hey, I just want to apologize for him. He's going through a really bad divorce right now. He's just having all these issues.
Oh, so he's the good cop then.
Yeah.
He's the good cop.
So just let me know, what is the timeshare like? Is it nice?
There was a moment where I started to contemplate actually like, well, that's actually
It's actually a good deal.
actually a pretty good deal.
Oh, man.
The number they start at.
Yeah.
I mean, they like have it and then have it again and have it again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Why didn't you just start with that number? Like
Yeah.
that.
If you keep going long enough, they'll pay you to take it.
I need my job, man. Come on, sign this for
No,
me.
my husband and I had a similar experience, except we actually talked our timeshare guy out of being a timeshare guy. He was like rethinking his entire like life and like, what am I doing? I did spend a lot of time like away from my family. I don't even like my boss. It's like
You sold him on a better life.
man.
Yeah.
Maybe he quit. He didn't get fired. He definitely quit. And we did not get a timeshare.
So for all of you that own a timeshare currently, how was your experience? Feel free to put it in the Discord chat.
Tell us what kind of timeshare you have and where it's at.
And how much it costs.
Yeah.
You can just say, I got a good deal. Everyone got a good deal.
Have you heard the ads of the companies that have sprung up on how to get you out of your timeshare?
Yeah.
Like so many people want to get out of your time. There's a market for it. There are companies that are like, hate your timeshare. We'll help you get out of it.
Wow.
Maybe that's not your experience. I would think
Your mileage
I was wondering what they do with it. Do they take it and then resell it to someone else? Like, do they have a double,
I don't know.
take it from you and then buy it from you or whatever they do? I don't know how they get you out of it, but
I don't know.
What do you invest in when people at McDonald's are talking about learning AI and machine learning, blockchain, single payment flows?
Farming.
Still the third, still the.
What do you invest in when they use every buzzword known to man? They have questions why they're working at McDonald's. I mean, they know a lot of buzzwords. I mean, that's half of sales right there.
If you've never been to a Black Hills Information Security webcast, we tend to speak our mind.
Welcome. Thanks for joining. I do like when we introduce ourselves and just not just assume that people know who we are.
Ah, that's true. Hey, everybody. I'm Jason Blanchard. I'm the Content Community Director here at Black Hills Information Security. So if I've said anything that has caused you to not want to join our community, I apologize. Sitting very far away from me.
So far.
So far. Yes, Deb Wigley, Content Community Manager. I do apologize for Jason if he said anything to offend you. Please join our community. It's great.
And if Deb keeps slamming the table with her hand, that's what that noise is. Ralph, who are you?
Ralph May. I'm a tester at BHIS. I mostly just come here for the pre-show banter and to chit chat with you guys. That's pretty much what I do. That sums up my
support.
life. Yeah, I'm here for moral support, and I enjoy it.
Dale, who are you?
I'm Dale. I'm also a tester at Black Hills. I really come here to hang out with my American friends.
Yeah, that's true, because Dale is a foreigner.
You say that like it's a bad word.
Whispered it.
He's from another country.
Yeah. He's over the white wall, right? Where it snows a lot over there. It's very snowy.
He's our
As soon as you
international
line.
correspondent.
It doesn't snow much where I live.
Beau, who are you? Where do you live?
Beau, I'm from Florida. I am a pen tester, red teamer at Black Hills, and also happen to be giving a webcast today.
If you notice, Beau starts pacing around a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it's like a little bit more pacing. Gotta move and get the blood going.
He starts doing the going down the stairs thing.
Oh, you've never done that before. That's fantastic.
Actually, I don't even have to do it with my I don't have to physically do it. I can just hit a button
Oh,
and
your
like the
desk.
desk just goes down, and then I'm
That's how I know Beau's ready for the.
Elevated. That was so good.
we're going back.
That's how I know he's doing a webcast when he's standing up. You get that stand desk.
Ryan, who are you?
I'm Ryan, the shootist, in charge of the YouTubes, and I edit things, video things.
To all of our friends over at YouTube, hey, thanks for joining us at the YouTubes. What I really want to talk about today is, Beau, you have an album. Like, you made a musical album. I don't know if we call them that anymore. You made a series of digital
Bleeps and bloops.
files
Yeah.
that can turn into music. But Beau made an album, and it's good, and it's good music to hack to.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. I've been playing guitar for I think this year will be 20 years. And I don't know, for the longest time, I used to have plenty of bands and stuff and written a lot of music over the last 20 years. And I don't know, on the band side, that used to be kind of the way that I wanted to approach music. I really wanted to have just a band, but I don't know, getting old and, kids and stuff, it just hasn't really panned out much. The closest thing I got, I think, was, playing music with John at the last couple Wild West Hackin' Fest where he would sing over some of my songs. But I don't know, just the location I am doesn't have enough musicians to just really get a solid metal band together. So anyways, I decided to write an instrumental album that is 100% just me. Like I said, I've been playing guitar for 20 years. So over those years, in addition to just writing music for a metal band, I've also had a couple different projects. I actually had a quote unquote, what is it? Pseudonymous project, where, I didn't have my name, that actually got pretty popular 12 years ago. That was in an industrial metal band. So I've had kind of a history with doing electronic music with metal. And then in addition to that, I'm also a really big fan of instrumental guitar music. So things like Satriani, Steve Vai, Paul Gilbert, John Petrucci. Those are some of my favorite guitarists. And I've always wanted to kind of put together an instrumental guitar album. So I was like, well, I like all these things. I like instrumental guitar, I like metal, I like synthwave music. Why don't I just put it all together and see what happens? So last year, I spent the majority of the year just writing the first album for a project that I call No Bandwidth. That was released in December. I'm already about 50% of the way done with the second album, which is pretty exciting. And first single was actually due June 14th, which is pretty sweet.
Yes.
But yeah, that's basically the story there.
Yeah. Personally, whenever somebody shares their art that they've made, there's a little hesitation to you want to like it so that you can say you like it. And if you don't like it, you still want to it's great, dude. But I genuinely like this music.
I was wondering.
I was wondering.
Yeah, because there's
generally hate it. It's just terrible. But
It's not for me. It's for somebody though. Right?
Yeah.
there's got to be a person out there that would enjoy it. No, hey,
I tell you, 3,000 people that I do not like it.
no, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's the intro music for the news. And so if you've ever I really like the intro music from the news that you do, that is the intro music. So you can go check out, I think if you're not logged into Spotify, you can still click on the songs and you get to hear the first 30 seconds of them. But if you log into your Spotify account, then you get the rest. Or you go to nobandwidth.io and grab them there. And then Beau, it's like you said, you mentioned the new album coming up. And then you do teach a class. You were the first John Strand teaches classes, right? So I think he's teaching one right now. If you're watching the recording, then he's not teaching it right now. But in real life, he's teaching it right now. Then Beau was like, hey, I have this idea for a cloud class. And so last year, in the middle of the pandemic, Beau, you wrote a class. And then it was the first time that we even experimented with even doing training, because we had John's training class, but he already kind of had that. Beau, you created like a brand new class from scratch. And then we did the 4-hour free workshop, where it was the first time we ever did that. And like 3,000 people registered. And we're like, oh, we need help, because we didn't know how to do labs for 3,000 people. We didn't know how to do this for 3,000. And so you helped us like learn how to do training. You helped us how to learn how to do training at scale. So
Definitely different for sure.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the class that you've created?
Yeah, for sure. So it's actually funny because like this webcast has a lot of the content from it. So if you like the webcast today, you might actually like the training as well. Basically, the idea was that we as pen testers have been going up against cloud environments like more and more. It's been something that has made its way into red team assessments, even like external pen tests. And I felt like there's a need, like a necessity for a methodology of sorts to go about testing these kind of things. And in reality, I ended up just creating a methodology of how I would go about assessing different cloud environments. So things like AWS, Azure, GCP from start to finish. So the class that I wrote basically walks us through that entire process, where we're starting with, recon, external attacks, getting access, for the first day. Second day is all, post exploitation, privilege escalation, being able to harvest data, exfil data from different cloud services. Third day is all about attacking infrastructure, so different pieces of cloud infrastructure, things like different, virtual machines, databases, functions, all the serverless stuff. And then the fourth day, I actually take like kind of a reverse approach. So the first 3 days really are about us attacking an organization's cloud environment. The fourth day, we kind of pivot it back to us as red teamers utilizing cloud services for performing red team engagements. So on day 4, we basically say, all right, now we are going to use cloud resources to go and hack stuff. So we set up, domain fronting, C2, and we set up, various different phishing mechanisms, interesting ways to do things like OAuth consent flow attacks, that kind of stuff. So that's basically the gist of it. But it's a 4-day class that is 4 hours each day. One of the things that I think was kind of important about us testing it out and kind of learning the process was in regards to how we approach labs. Because with doing labs for 200 people remotely over the internet, it gets to a point where you don't necessarily just want to like stop and just sit there for 20 minutes and say, hey, here's 20 minutes of time, go do a lab. Because in those scenarios, it's like, well, all right, who's done, who's not done? You can't really like gauge, right? Like as an instructor, you can't really gauge like where people are at. So what I ended up doing is saying, okay, instead of just stopping and we're going to just like take lab time, I actually do 2 hours of office hours before and after class, where I just hang out and answer any questions while the students go through the labs. So during the class, it's essentially like, some people have kind of said it's like, realistically, it's like an 8-hour a day class because of that. Generally, we have, the 4 hours of instruction where I'm walking through the actual slides and talking about the class, and then going through the labs and demoing them. But then 2 hours before and after for office hours.
If you've taken a Law West Hack and Fest class, you're like, oh, you guys have it down. Like you have instructions and you have downloads and you have hands-on labs and you have all these things. Like Beau is the pioneer for that. Like it was all right, Beau, we got to figure out how to do this. And we did it with Beau's class.
Yeah, definitely ran into, speed bumps here and there, but it's turned out pretty good so far. Yeah. I like the format a lot.
I like that you called him a pioneer, not a guinea pig. That's nice. That's kind.
Yes.
Pioneer.
He did marketing?
No, I work in content community. If you haven't gotten a t-shirt, Black Hills t-shirt yet, we're closing down the Spearfish General Store for the whole month of June because we have Way West, Wild West Hack and Fest happening in Reno. And so if you're going to that, Deb and I will be there. Beau, are you going?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm teaching actually out there.
Yeah, teaching.
Can you perform your newest single? Because that drops on the 14th. Is that what you said?
It's going to be a live performance? I'm super excited already.
Oh man, that's...
Sorry, Beau.
Beau's going to
maybe not this conference, but actually no. So one of my buddies actually has like kind of an inn at Full Sail. Like Jason, you know Full Sail, right?
Yeah.
So have you heard of the Fortress?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got something kind of in the works to do something video related there. So we'll see.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Ralph is, like I said, here to learn pen testing and answer your questions and engage with you in Discord. Ryan is here to make sure none of this fails and crashes and goes down. Deb and I are here to respond to any of the questions like, will the slides be available? Will the recording be available? Absolutely. The recording will be available as soon as this is over at YouTube. So at the link right there.
Is your class at Wild Wild West, is it just a in-person class, not online? Or is it
Yep.
hybrid?
Yeah, so the one I'm doing at Way West, I'm just doing in person. Then the next one after that's July 13th, and that one will be fully remote.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll probably just be handing out slides for you. So that'll be there.
Sweet.
All right, Beau, I gave the controls back over to you.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody. Everyone that is not going to speak today, so Dale, Ralph, Deb, Ryan, go ahead and kill your cameras.